Alright guys, so heading out to work. Decided to make a little video for you guys. This video is gonna be about pretty much how to get a car really cheap, almost free, for you to daily drive, like a beater, or if you're into flipping cars, how to flip cars. So this is our beater car, and I will tell a little story on how I got this car and how much it all costed me. Alright. Sorry for the noise. The dog is barking in the background. Alright, cool. So, first of all, there's a variety of different places you can get flip cars from. Most popular ones, of course, gonna be Craigslist. Or if you don't mind working a little bit with body on the cars, or buying kind of a cat in the bag, then Copart. I actually, like, some of my best beaters were from Copart, including this Acura Integra, 2000 Acura Integra that I'm driving, that you've seen a few videos. There's an actual video of me pulling the back out where it was sitting in the back, and this is pretty much how it worked out. So, first of all, to get cars from Copart, you don't really need much. All you need to do is create an account. You don't even need to do a deposit. You just need to upload your driver license and stuff like that, copart.com, and then you can bid for cars up to $1,000. But one thing to remember, when you doing your math, Copart charges a shitload of fees. They charge right around 30% of fees almost on the cheaper cars that you buy. So if you're looking at the car and it's a $3,000 car and it has some damage, you probably don't want to bid more than $700 on it. Stuff like that. I mean, you just have to be reasonable. So once you register and can bid, the process is fairly easy. Just find one by your place, and make sure that you have a way to bring it back home, and then pretty much start playing on cars. So for this Acura, I got it from the auction for about $800 or so. With all the fees, it was almost $1,100, right? Which is, for 2000 Acura Integra, is, at the time it had like around 130,000 miles, maybe even less, I don't even remember. It was a pretty good deal. It was hit in the back, fairly hard hit in the back, so like where the spare tire goes was like completely wrinkled and had damage on the rear quarter panel. So it needed things like a new rear bumper, it needed new side glass over here, the back glass, things like that. The mirrors were kind of broken, so it needed like a little bit here and there, right? But it ran great, which again you didn't know up until you picked the car up. Like, it ran great, no knocks, the engine's good, transmission shifted a little bit hard, but nobody ever changes oil in automatic transmissions and Hondas for some reason, even though you do have to do it fairly often, about 15,000 miles or so. So pretty much once I picked that up, I started sourcing parts, and I realized that parts are extremely expensive for Acura Integras, and there's not many junkyards that even carry parts for Acura Integras. So I came up with a plan. I decided to see if I can find a same color car that maybe with bad engine anywhere, and get one home and use it as a parts car. So I actually found one in Salem, Oregon for $500. It had a blown engine. Same exact color, just older body. It was 97, so different rear bumper, different front bumper, but essentially the same car. So here's how it gets good. So I went and grabbed the car for $500. I towed it all the way back to Tri-Cities, Washington on my tow dolly, so which is like 300 miles or so. And then I posted on the Craigslist and on the Facebook groups for a part out, except the parts that I needed. So I took all the parts I needed, which if I would be buying those parts from junkyards or from like car part places, it was about $500–600 worth of parts. So that was by itself worth it, right? But for little that I've known is people really want freaking Integra parts. So I was able to sell all the parts from the car for close to $1,500, including the blown engine and everything. The interior, actually interior was the first one to go. So once I sold all that, some kid came and picked up the body and the title from me for like 150 bucks. That was completely stripped already. And I also kept a bunch of spare parts like the alternator, the power steering pump, the AC compressor, just things like that, things that you might need at some point of time. So yeah, so like once doing the math, pretty much I got all of the parts virtually free, and sold the parts car for about $1,100 worth of profit, which is exactly how much I bought for the car that I'm driving right now. So essentially, car was almost free. No, this is not a flip car. Like, I mean, I could sell it, and probably the Acura Integra is 140,000 miles these days in GS trim, which is leather and whole 9 yards. It probably fetch pretty big.
This is the body piece over here. Just hard to find. Complete bone stock. Acura Integra. There's nothing there. All original. No part cams or intakes, nothing like that.
But for me, I actually bought it. My girlfriend, she works far away, so she drives like 3 hours each way. So I bought it for her so she doesn't put miles on our nicer cars, just so she doesn't depreciate the crap out of them. Because before the beater cars, she used to would buy a new car, well, not new, like slightly used car once every couple of years, and she would put like 100,000 miles on it in 1 to 2 years, and we would lose our ass on it. So pretty much the new plan is just to buy a beater car, and usually she'll drive it up until 200,000 miles, or until I decide that it's mechanically not safe anymore, and pretty much after that we'll just either sell it or scrap it or part it out and get her another one. Like the car before this one, that was her daily beater car, was the 2000 Toyota Celica that you guys saw maybe a video that we were doing power steering hoses replacement and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean the process is fairly easy as far as getting the cars. It's just more of a, are you willing to put in the work to fix the car? Like, do you know what you're doing type of deal. And the thing is, if you've never done like body work before, don't be too afraid of it. In my opinion, it's fairly easy, and there is tons of cool resources like on YouTube and on the internet. You can, I mean, if you're mechanically inclined and not willing to get your hands dirty, you should have not many problems doing any type of body work. I mean, except things like that take skills like paint and stuff like that. I mean, that you might have to, you know, do a couple times before you get good at. But as far as basic sheet work, it's fairly easy. Welding, again, if you buy like a decent welder, like something that's fairly easy to use, like Miller-Matic welders are pretty awesome. Lincoln Electric is pretty good. You can, you know, start trying to weld things together. You can always also figure out where things go and how to do things by going to local U-Pull-It or pull it apart, depends where you're at, yards, and figure out how things go together if you find exactly the same car. So pretty much, long story short, if you're buying a cheap beater car, it's always that needs some work, it's always a good idea to buy a parts car, because by the time you part it out, if you're willing to put in time and effort into parting it out, you will probably not just make your money back, you'll probably make the money, and then you get pretty much all the parts essentially free, and you have a car that's virtually free or very inexpensive. I mean, it depends on how expensive the car you bought. Cool. Well, I'm almost at work, guys, so I really hope that this video was helpful. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. If you liked the video, please hit like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, just like lots of small channels are right now, and as soon as we get to 2,000 subscribers, we're gonna do some cool raffles and stuff. But as for right now, you guys have a good day, and hopefully everything goes awesome for you. Take care.